I don't know if you read in my email. Like, I'm just
Yeah. I see. Now you're
so
recording. I see
I'm
it. Yeah.
so I'm so bad with this technology stuff, and we had to
Hey.
change this whole thing this last like literally like the last hour.
Yeah.
So
Because I tried to join the Zoom meeting that you linked, and it was already busy. Someone was in there, so I was like, "Oh, I'll better back out of here." And then, like 1 minute later, you texted me this link. So, but it works.
so I don't see your dog. I was wondering if you were gonna have your
He's
dog.
lying in the windowsill and just checking out all the ladies in heat outside because the spring's coming here now. So there's a lot of, pardon my French, bitches in heat, and so he's going he's in internal chaos. He just wants to be outside all the time. So he's
I guess
now lying in the window, just looking out, see if anyone's passing. So
he's
I'll,
not
I'll,
new.
I bet he'll join.
By the way, have you've seen the group that I have, right? The Last Kingdom group.
Yeah.
You've seen that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought you had tried to join a while back, but I wasn't sure if it was you because we get Alexander Draymond joining every day practically,
Well, I can tell you he's not. So take
Yeah.
it from me.
Some lady was just oohing and ahhing about how, Alexander Draymond reached out to me and blah blah blah.
Nah, he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did a Instagram post the other day, and I took a picture of. I think there's about 6 or 7 people posing as me at the moment on Instagram, and
Oh, really?
yeah. But it's
Well,
always you always have to look for the blue verification tick, and
right. At least you know you're famous.
well, at least that I am who I say I am.
Yeah.
You know?
So I wanted to ask you. I put a post in the group, asking anybody who might have a question for you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I hope there was a lot, or
Well,
at
if
least some.
there was some, I just put it out yesterday, so there might have
Oh,
been more. I put it out sooner. I just been so busy, and plus I already have a lot of questions of like my own. So.
oh yeah. Well, no problem. Let's get this started then.
Alrighty. So a man named Adam Goodwin, he wants to know, how is it playing the second best character in the whole show?
I wouldn't know because I play the best character on the whole show. Gotcha, Adam. No, you know what? What a compliment! What a compliment! Thank you, Adam. That's a real compliment. What can I say? I enjoyed the hell out of playing Heston. To be honest, it's one of the best characters I've been able to play throughout my career. I think for such a long time as well. So there was he evolved during those 4 seasons, and his journey is. I mean, I don't necessarily like the guy, but he was so much fun to play. I've said it on other occasions as well, but I think that Heston, at least to me, he is the most free person in that show, meaning he doesn't answer to, he's not bound by honor, by religion, by loyalty. He's not bound by anything. So he's completely free to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, with whomever he wants, at all times. And that was really that was a great thing to experience, I think. Yeah.
That's a really good point. Didn't think of it that way.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I mean, as you can see, in the one of my first scenes in season 2, Uhtred saves me on the steps there in Winchester, no, in Efferwich, and he asks me, "Is it Valhalla you want?" And I say, "In time, Lord, but freedom would be my first choice." which means that he's not he he knows that he has to get to Valhalla someday, but you can't spend your money in Valhalla, so it's better to be alive for a while, you know. So it's not that he's not religious; it's just that it doesn't weigh on him as much as it does on other people in the show, I think. Yeah.
All right. So here's another question from Charles Francis.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel for Heston to have his change of heart? And okay, so how did it feel for Heston to have his change of heart in season 5?
Felt good. I mean, I know the thing is that it's not a purely unegoistical choice he does, I think. To me, at least, to me, it's not like he chooses to die right there, but it's one last Hail Mary. If this works, I think he knows that it's a very slim chance that it would work. But it's a Hail Mary. It's like big swing and a huge miss, to be honest. Because I think he sees that if he can pull this off, then he will be the hero. He will be kind of a hero to Uhtred. He will have full his possibility of trading will be much larger. Like can go up to Scotland, past Bebbanburg and past Northumbria and stuff like that. But yeah, I think he knows that it's probably not going to work. But in that situation, with your back against the wall, you just have to try. But I think he I think it was a bit unexpected. I think he thought it would work. But the thing is that that whole journey starts way before. It starts in season 4, I think, when he's he's tired of wars. For his age, at that age, I mean, in the year 1000, around year 1000, you're an old man then. You've lived a long life. And if you've been a warrior all your life, like he has, then maybe it's time to settle down and try something else and have some peace and quiet for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and also he likes his bling, he likes his money, he likes his followers.
Yeah.
And now he's a rich merchant, and I think he, if he had been a bit smarter, he would have started that earlier, to be honest. But he was sometimes a loyal dog to his lieutenant, to his bosses, like Siegfried and Eric, but then they stepped on his toes, or at least Eric did.
Yeah.
And then there's no loyalty anymore. And I think that's a big shift in him. I mean, if you're very loyal and that loyalty is not rewarded, then screw this. Okay. So I think the whole journey that led up to that ending started much earlier than just season 5. But I really enjoyed him being a merchant. And I really enjoyed I read like a tweet last year, or was it maybe on Reddit? I don't remember. I think it might have been on Reddit, that the most underrated friendship in the show is the friendship between Uhtred and Heston.
So you do feel it's like a friendship?
I think they need each other to build their own careers and reputations.
Mm-hmm.
Or they did for a while. uh, and you can kind of see that when in season 5 when I take him to the seer, to the small hut where she is, the not the seer, but the oh, I her name or character name escapes me. The one that the war party was searching for, and when the queen got killed, right? The one Alice, Alice, when she's in the hut, and I take Uhtred to her, and after that, there's a little dialogue between us where we are very friendly, when we are almost mates. We smile to each other. There's no hostility. And I think if they had met under other circumstances, like maybe like it was in the books, then it would be different. But you know, they were of different factions for a long time. At least Heston thought so.
Well, I really enjoyed the whole interaction between the two characters. It was amazing.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's like, to me, it's kind of like Joker and Batman, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In other circumstances, they could, have a beer.
Yeah, and your character was really funny too. Like had a lot of funny remarks and stuff, and it was really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great written show, a wonderfully written show. So, I mean, to be able to speak the words that they wrote for me was amazing, and it was easy to play. It's easy to play when it's that well written.
You say the characters are easier to play when they're not well written?
No, when it's that well written.
So,
cheers! It's Friday, by the way. I'm having a beer because it's Friday. So.
Oh, you know what? And I was gonna like message you saying, "Hey, you should like have a drink, while we're doing this."
Oh, I am.
Cool.
I rarely drink on weekdays, but now it's Friday and I was gonna hang out with you, so hey, why not have a beer?
So what kind of beer?
It's a Carlsberg.
Danish.
Okay. Carlsberg, Danish beer. Carlsberg. It's like a Pilsner lager, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I miss beer. I can't drink it anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry for you.
Now, Charles Francis had another question. It says, How does it feel that Heston's death brought him honor, and that he's now feasting in Valhalla with Ragnar? And that's a good point. Like, did he go to Valhalla?
Heston? I think he did.
Was he holding a sword? Or?
I don't know if you can see it in the scene, but I did grab the sword that was stuck in me on my way down to the floor.
That's right.
I don't know if you can see it, but I know I did because I wanted to make sure. Jeppe wanted to make sure that Heston got to Valhalla,
Okay. So that was the actor in play right there, huh?
Yeah. Because he's at least he was a despicable man, but I had to show him some respect, because Heston he was alive 1,000 years ago for real, so
okay,
he was a much bigger warlord than portrayed in this show. He was probably, I think he is seen as one of the most successful Vikings ever.
So you researched him for the role?
Yeah, for sure.
Did that have any influence on how you played the character?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially one thing that was written by a monk in the year 948 or something. He wrote a passage about him that was just the most despicable man ever, and it was so. It's on Heston's Wikipedia page. You can see that if you go there, or if you guys go there. So that's kind of because I knew that we were going to divert a bit from the books, so I didn't want to portray him just as they did in the books, because we might go on a different path, and we did.
Right.
So I wanted to base him on the real Heston, Lord Heston, the Earl from the successful pirate and warlord.
And so you studied the Bernard Cornwell books for the character as well. Then to
I read the two first books,
do first.
but I didn't want to experience that. If we, diverted from the books, that I would miss something that was in the books, or that I would feel detached from the character in the books. So I chose not to read more, and just concentrate on Heston in the Last Kingdom TV show.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay. Well, I'm not an actor, but
Skål.
Skål.
Hey, water is good for you. Much better than beer.
All right. Sue Bundy asks, what was the hardest part of the role?
Of the work?
Of the role?
Of the role.
Mm-hmm.
I would say some mental aspects more than physical aspects, to be honest. For instance, when in season 2, when I go down into the dungeon to have my way with Ethelfled, you have to go deep inside and kind of, because I don't want to rape anyone, Brian. I do not want to rape anyone, but I needed to portray a person that wanted to rape someone. So I had to, it can get dark sometimes being an actor. At least it depends on the method you're using, I guess. But I don't want it to look fake. That doesn't mean that I tried to rape her when we turn off the cameras, but I had to find a darkness. We're all yin and yang. We're all dark and light. I don't think there's no such thing as a purely good person or a pure evil person. I think we all have, So I just had to research that part of myself for a couple of hours, and it could have been scary, but it wasn't, because I found out that I'm more a good person than an evil person. So.
Well, that sounds like a really interesting process that you went through to prepare for that scene. I don't know if you want to share any thought processes that you went through specifically that would help actors, or not, or if that's private for you, either way. But
I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain the thought process, because it's just it's a long process, and it's I don't know. It's hard, but I the thing is that, as I already said, I wanted to make it true. I didn't want it to feel fake.
And we appreciate it.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate it too, because sometimes it becomes almost therapeutic.
I'm starting to see that now on the. I've become a filmmaker myself, but behind the camera, and I don't do acting, but I've gotten to experience, a little bit what these actors kind of go through on this set, and it's just like, wow, I have way more respect for it now, even than before. So.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people just thinks that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, some people at least think that you learn your lines and then you go in front of the camera and you speak the words. It's much more than that. If you want to do it good, at
Yeah.
least for me. If you want it to be true, because it has to be true,
Right.
or else I could just have my lines and you could on camera, or
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen now that it's just really hard to be an actor, a good actor, and really bring home that truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it gets easier the older you get, maybe. At least it has for me, because you experience more in life, in real life, which you can bring in, and highs and lows, which you can attach stuff to, maybe. But the thought process itself, it's really hard.
Yeah.
But I remember one thing that Millie said to me while we were shooting it. We had done it a couple of times up until the bucket, because we only had like 3 or 4 costume changes, so we couldn't throw the bucket every time. So we did the first part first, and at one point she just looked at me and says, "Oh my God, you're so scary," and you're not. So
you're
that was
convincing her.
something for me, because then I had in that moment become what I wanted to become in that moment. And it also meant that I'm a good guy in real life, and I'm not that scary, which is very good.
So Avita Del Genio, she asks, "Can I be your fat wife?" Okay.
Hey,
well, there you go.
Sure.
So, and then Rusty Hoffman, how did he feel about a character that was liked as much as he was hated/disliked?
That's a huge compliment for me, because that means, coming back to what I've said, then I have made it true for people.
Yes.
And one thing I think I'm blessed with, doing Heston, is that I've seen, and I have also on other occasions lived it, and also talked to a lot of colleagues about this, that some parts of the audience, they don't differ between the actor and the character. I think that there's been a blessing for me, is that people have hated Heston, but they haven't hated me as a person. And also, I mean, he's kind of a lovable asshole sometimes,
Oh yeah.
because he has good lines, and he's funny sometimes, and also I think that the audience doesn't think that he's as dangerous as he thinks he is, because a lot of I focused on a lot of things with Heston. I don't know if you can see it, but I tried to. But he likes theater. He likes drama. He likes to, make a scene. The dinner scene with Alfred and Beocca and Uhtred and Aelswith in season 3, with the meat and speaking of Skade, and he likes to create drama, and and also with Bjorn, the ghost in season 2. So he likes to put on different masks for different situations. That's what I tried to do, at least. I mean, I think one of the, in season 5, I think he's completely honest and true. But I think in season 4, when I meet Uhtred in the woods and we have the sword fight, and he pins me to the tree with the sword under my chin, when he knows that he's like a hair's width from dying, and he has to speak the truth or else he'll die.
Right.
Sort of like his final scene as well. That's when he becomes himself.
Right.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, he likes to, create drama, and I spy on everyone, all these awesome lines. And also you can see how he acts with Skade when he has her,
Mm.
like this, he wants to be, portray like a big dog and got all these men, all this money. I shot the hair with, he boosts himself,
Yeah.
sort of, because he's only human, and we all do that. We all put on different masks for different occasions,
Right.
or almost all of us at least. So yeah, I wanted to portray him as a human being, not this cartoon villain.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he did a great job.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Can't
it.
say it enough. I can't say it enough. You'll see in the group, people can't say it enough. You've got so many fans. I hope you're able to read some of those comments.
I mean, I read a lot of comments, and I remember in season 2, when season 2 aired, I went on Reddit and stuff to try to find out what people thought of Heston. And at that point, I was like, I should have not have gone here because they were not nice. But they were never not nice to me, just to Heston, which I took as a compliment. And I mean, without our fan base, without all of you guys, we would probably not have made season 3 and 4 and 5, and now the movie's coming out, because you're such an amazing group of people. So,
well, unfortunately, I have to almost agree, because Netflix did the worst job of promoting that. I always want to call it a film, but the series. Because like I know when I stumbled on it, that was only a few years ago, and I'm like, where has this been on Netflix? I haven't heard about this.
yeah.
And it's literally just like the best. It's the best series that I think I could ever say that I've ever watched. I mean, I think prior to that, Highlander, the Highlander series, that probably would have been my number one favorite. But now it's The Last Kingdom. So
Great. And I mean, the show to me is so good that when I watch it for the first time, when I watched every season for the first time, I rooted for Uhtred and his gang.
right.
That's how good the show is.
Yeah, yeah.
And I play his enemy.
So you're
His
Team
nemesis,
Uhtred.
Yeah. Go Uhtred and the pretty boys,
Yeah.
I hope you get back Bebenber, baby. That's how well written this show and well executed this show is from every party that's been involved.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I started the group was because it was like we need to get the word out about this show. I mean, it's just pissing me off that
Yeah, I know.
like no more. I run into people all the time. My latest project is I've been trying to get people, like even my partners haven't seen the show, and so I'm trying to get.
Shame on them.
I know I'm trying to get people like to I don't know if you've seen it or not, but like get some of my filmmaking friends together, and hey, there he is.
Yay! ¿Cómo se? ¿Cómo se? ¿Cómo se? ¿Se da? Hey!
Oh, look, he looked at me for a second.
Yeah, but it's been strictly word of mouth, I guess. And I mean, if they could have put a bit more money into marketing and stuff, I don't see why we couldn't have been as big as GOT or Vikings or whatever. But hey, that's water under the bridge. we're super grateful for having, done 5 seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, I'm super appreciative of the choice to end it when it's at its peak,
Mhm.
not to draw it out for like 3 or 4 more seasons just for the money's sake.
So do you think if you had went more seasons, that would have been too much, or
I think so. Yeah,
yeah?
I think so. Yeah, I do think so. I mean, I love, you know, for for instance, I loved Vikings for 4 seasons or something, but then it just became so watered out, I think, for me at least. I'm not saying it's not a good show, but
Mhm.
they did like season 5 A and B and C, and they put all this weird, it was just a money making machine instead of trying to tell a good story. And I think we just wanted to tell a good story.
Mhm.
And when the story is over, it is over,
Right.
you know? And then it can live on in people's heads.
Right.
Maybe what if, okay, now then you can fantasize about what happens next, which also makes the story more vivid and alive.
Yeah. Some people think that they kind of that the show was kind of cut short because of the fact that there were more books still, and some people were disappointed that it didn't go further. But then when they talked about the film coming out, that made a lot of people happy. So I know I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
There's still more to come. It's not over. It's not completely over. And I think you're going to have a good time watching that. I know I will.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we have here? See you help people out and you die facts. I don't know what that means. Does he love his work? Well, just from talking to you, it's
Yes.
obvious you love you love acting in general.
I love it.
By the way, how'd you get started with acting?
Actually, I got my first role in a film when I was 11. So actually, this year, and this every time I say this sentence, it makes me feel old. But this year, I'm in my 40th year as an actor.
Wow, nice.
So yeah.
Hey, not many people could say that. So hey,
No, I know, and I'm super super appreciative. I mean, um, but it takes tenacity, it takes patience, it takes fighting spirit. I think because I've lived on noodles for months at end.
mhm,
When being broke and out of work,
mhm.
but I still tried to go forward and I mean I quit once. I did quit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
How,
Uh,
how old were you at that point?
Oh, that's 20 years ago, almost, or 15, 16 years ago.
Okay.
Because I didn't get any work and I was broke. Uh, I had to go into phone sales,
Oh,
telephone marketing to, just earn money. And
rough.
I hated that. I
Yeah.
had this, I had, I was, what was it? It was, we were selling cheap, like cheaper phone bills or something. I don't know how you can explain it. I mean, people were going to save money by telephoning other people. It was a weird thing.
I can see
First
the
of all,
life
first
just
of all,
draining out of you while you're talking about it.
I hated it. And first of all, my boss was 20 years younger or 15 years younger than me, and I was his teacher once at theater school.
man.
teaching him stage fighting and sword fighting and stuff.
Oh, really?
Which was the first weird, oh, hey. And now he's my boss and he's telling me, you have to get more sales. And I was like, what the hell what am I doing? And then I had this one phone call where I just, because you just get a list of numbers and you dial them, and I dialed this number, and this old lady, she was 80 plus, 82 or 83 or something. And I talked to her about it and said, hey, we can, give you cheaper phone bills. And she said something, well, I don't have, my family is dead. My friends are dead. It's just, I don't use my phone much. And I got so sad for that. So I sat and chatted with her for almost 2 hours, just talked to her because she hadn't talked to anyone in a long time. And when I hung up, I just got up and went, and I never came back. It was just absurd. So then after that, I figured I had to do something. I had to re-educate myself. So, and I wanted to be, I think that if I am not an actor, I want to be somewhere where I can help other people or be a resource for other people. So I started to started to study as a paramedic. And then while I was studying, while I went to school for that, I got an audition. So I got to the audition, and I went to school on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And I said to them, if I get the part, then I would love for you to not put me up on those days of the week. But I got the part, and they only put me up on Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So I missed 4 or 5 weeks of studying. So that was too much to get back into it.
Yeah.
But luckily, I mean, it was like Al Pacino in Godfather 3.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in,
All right.
But I'm glad they did, because if they hadn't, then I wouldn't have been having this chat with you. So
Absolutely. That's amazing. That's going to be inspiring for other actors who are in the same boat.
Yeah, I think just be persistent and don't give up. I mean, you can do other day jobs, but don't become your day job.
Mm-hmm.
Keep being an actor. That's only you only do your day job to earn money when you're not acting. That's so persistence and patience is the key, I think.
Right.
At least it has been for me.
Okay. Good. All right. So that was the last of the questions from the group. So I'll go through.
Good questions. Thanks, group.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. That's a great group. I put a lot of work into making it great, because all the other TLK groups that I was in before that just weren't so great, and I got tired of it. And I started this group, and I never expected it to become what it's become, or be, having interviews with cast members. I mean, it's just amazing. So
yeah, it's great. I'm so happy for you, man. And thank you. I really appreciate your dedication. As I said before, I mean, without you guys, probably would have stopped at least after season 3. Got canceled. So big ups to you.
thank you. All right, so I'll just start with my questions here. When did you first hear about the Last Kingdom show?
Oh, I heard about it when season 1 came out, because I know Tobias Santelman that plays young Ragnar, and I didn't know Ole Kristoffer or Julia back then, that plays, Tira and Sven.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew Tobias, and I wanted to see. And I'm a nerd myself. I really love these kinds of shows. I love them.
Yeah.
So So I watched I watched the first season when it came out.
Okay. So wow. So you were a fan.
I was a fan before I got the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can just guess how terrifying it was for me when I got the job and I got in the room for the first time with Alfred and Uhtred and Aelswith and Ragnar and Kjartan. And it was like, oh shit, I'm one of them now. It was crazy.
Dream come true.
It was for truly a dream come true.
Wow.
And I actually auditioned for another role first. I auditioned for Gutrid, the bastard who gives away Uhtred to slavery.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that part. So a couple of months went by, and then the casters reached out to my agent and said that they wanted to try me for Heston.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that audition. And at the time, or the week after I sent in the tape, I had to go to work in Sweden on a show that I was doing there. And my agent called me one day. It was a Thursday, I think she called me, and she said, "You're up for consideration. I think they want you now. It's just the last person has to say yes." And I was like, "Oh my God, for real? Oh, come. Okay. Okay, I'm close. And but they're coming back to us in a couple of days." I was like, "Okay, I'm waiting." And Thursday went by, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, nothing. I didn't hear anything.
Oh man.
Oh man. And on Tuesday, my agent called me and said, "I'm sorry, but they have decided that Heston is going to be 20 years older. So they're now looking for an older actor."
No way.
And I was like, come on. But I was this close. But they have offered, and she said, "But they offered you another role. The role of Sverre the Slaver."
Uh-huh.
But I turned it down. And this was on a Tuesday. And 3 more days went by. Friday came, and I was in the studio doing radio commercials in Norway. And my agent called and said, "Are you sitting down?" "No." "Well, you should sit down." "Okay." "Because they want you. They discarded the whole 20 years older. They want you. Do you still want the job?" I went, "Yes."
Damn, what a story.
It was a ride.
Yeah.
It was a bumpy ride to get to get him, but I got him, and yeah.
Isn't it crazy how things turn out sometimes like that?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I've never spoken to the producers about what made them redecide,
Oh man, I want to
I've
know.
never asked. I don't want to break the romantic thing. I don't want to hear facts. I want to just be able to think that, yeah, I was too damn good to let me go, Maybe that wasn't it at all, but that's what I'm gonna live with the rest of my life.
Okay, I see. I get it. I totally get it.
So that was a ride for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy I got it. So happy to have been able to do that.
Well, that's interesting because my next question was, were you already a fan before joining the cast? So I know the answer to that.
Yep.
And then how did you get cast? You explain that.
If you want to, if you want to, somehow my tape ended out on YouTube, so my self tape is on YouTube.
Oh,
If you guys want to see
yeah.
it, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's there.
Okay, so do you know like the address or
I
the
think if you
channel?
search for Heston or Jeppe Beck Laursen,
Okay,
an
okay.
audition tape or something, I think, yeah.
Which, by the way, that reminds me, how do you say your name properly?
Jeppe
Yippa?
Beck Laursen.
So Yippa?
Yeah.
Yippa?
Beck. Jeppe
Beck
Beck Laursen.
Laursen.
Yes.
Okay,
That was
cool.
pretty good. That was pretty good.
Okay, okay. Oh, cool. Because yeah, I was totally. I went on YouTube and typed in the name to hear it, and I wasn't sure if I was yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Danish name because my dad was Danish. So, or Jeppe is Danish, Beck is mostly German, and my mother's name is Beck, and Larsen is also it's a Danish surname.
Yeah.
It's funny because there's another artist that's his name is also Jeppe Laursen without the Beck, and he wrote songs for Lady Gaga.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of people are still, mistaking me for being him. I get a lot of DMs on Instagram going, "Yeah, you wrote the best songs," and yeah, that's not me. I even got out of a mistake. I even got many years ago. I got an invitation to the Rolling Stone after party after the MTV Awards. And I was like, why am I getting this? And I didn't know then that there was not all the same thing that I'd written songs for Lady Gaga. So I was like, why am I getting this? It's cool, and I was in LA at the time, so I actually thought about going, but then I didn't go.
Oh man, I wish you would have went. That would have been a great story.
I should have went.
Oh boy. All right. Okay, we already heard how you prepared for the role, but how hectic was the shooting schedule? I imagine you're going like 12, 14-hour days there.
Oh yeah, you could. Absolutely. I mean, it could get picked up at 3:30 in the morning and not be home by 11 in the evening,
Yeah.
Long days, but fun days, I mean, of course, if you're fighting in snow and mud for a week, you start to hate a little bit, but such a good group, We always lifted each other's spirits all the time. If someone was down, we just picked them up and, and I felt, such a fantastic group.
Yeah, I've always had that impression from everything that I've seen with the BTS and all that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and not just the actors, but the crew and the people in the offices and such great producers, great people, great people, kind-hearted people, which made it so much easier to do, all the shitty physical work,
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss it a lot. To be honest. But yeah, of course. It was an era. It was 6 years of my life.
Wow.
Of course I miss it. But I've never shown this to anyone, but I'm going to show it to you, okay? To you and your group. Okay? Because I brought something home with me.
Oh.
Now, if you wait a little bit, and you're probably going to be seeing an edit here.
Oh yeah.
Just a second, I'll show it to you.
All right.
Okay, I'm back. So, I brought something home with me to have and keep and cherish for the rest of my life. And I think you might recognize this.
Okay. Wow. Dang, they just let you have it, or you stole it?
This is my cuirass.
Yeah.
This is the original armor he used for season 2, 3, and 4.
Oh wow.
With the Thor's hammer that looks like a bat. It looks like the bat signal, but is actually yeah. And you can see there's a tag inside here. It says Heston Hero. So
What?
this is gonna stay with me forever.
Now, why does it say Heston Hero?
Because we have body doubles.
Oh, okay.
For writing, for
Right.
example, and so they have the actors versions and the stunt guys versions.
Okay.
And the stunt guys versions are a bit lighter and easier to repair and stuff if they are broken. So yeah, this is I'm so happy to have this.
So you're all set for Halloween for a while.
I am. Again goes Heston.
Well,
I also brought one more. I brought one more thing.
Okay.
The cuirass and these things here is what is personifying Heston for me. These things.
Oh yeah, you know what? I was gonna ask you about that too.
I have them. I have his boar tusks.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how they look up close.
Okay. I got
so yeah.
the device here. I can't look at the screen very well.
Yeah, no, but yeah. I had to bring them home. The two things, I mean, I think some people wanted to bring their sword or stuff like that. But I just wanted these tusks and my armor. Because if I was on set sometimes, and we're living in modern times, stuff happens. You think about modern things, and if I sometimes you just drift off into modern day.
Mm-hmm.
But then I could just look down, and I saw the cuirass and the Thor's hammer, and I touched the tusks. And that's Heston. So okay, here he is. Great. Now I'm back. I'm back now.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, that's what personifies him more than anything: the cuirass and the tusks.
Right. Well, that's so awesome.
Take it home.
Thanks for showing us.
Hey, my pleasure.
So we were talking about the shooting schedule.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was rough sometimes, but still, it was. As I said, we lifted each other up, and you get tired and physically and mentally, but it was still so much fun to do. And I mean, but I had it easy, and a lot of us had it easy compared to Alex. Alex worked 24/7 for 5 seasons. He was in almost every scene. He had huge, long dialogues, monologues. He was fighting, he was writing, he was talking, he was walking, he was everywhere all the time. And when he wasn't in front of camera, he had to learn the lines for the next day, so he was working 24/7. And I mean, I'm in awe of his work ethic and also his ability to keep his and our spirits up, because he's one of the kindest people I've ever met. He's a great, he's a great idol,
Mm-hmm.
of just the way he treats people and his work ethic. It's unmatched.
Wow.
Unmatched.
Mm. Yeah, you hear that from so many of the other cast members. It's must be true.
No, trust me, it's true. Yeah, he's an amazing man.
Well, I hope to interview him as well someday.
Yeah, that would be great.
What would be really cool would be to get you guys in a movie, produce a movie for you guys somehow.
That would be amazing. If that happens, I'm in.
Well, we're working on one. We're trying to do with Dean Cain here in Tampa, and who knows? Might have an actor from the Last Kingdom.
Hey, fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
So just got to get funding, basically. That's it.
Yeah.
So because she's already ready to do it, and he's ready. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm like I said, I'm behind the camera with the filmmaking and producing and directing, and I do a lot of gaffer work right now.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm bummed out about the way this is looking, because we had it looking.
Oh, I see why you were like, God damn it. This is not well lit.
I was looking so
it's good. It's good
time.
enough. It's good enough for what it is, man.
It's
Yeah.
better than what I interviewed Joseph Milson and Debbie Chazen through just the Facebook Live feature. So, of course, that audio and camera looks horrible, but I was doing it at home, so I had all my live.
Yeah, but I've seen that because I think you linked that to me when we started speaking. Yeah. So I saw that you were sitting in a chair it was well lit with some colors, and yeah. I know what you wanted to do with this, but hey, it's not about yeah, it's good content,
right?
At least
that's what it's all about, really.
Oh no.
So, anyways, were you struggling to stay warm there in Hungary?
No,
No,
because I'm Norwegian and I'm built like a sea lion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel you. I grew up in Washington State, and I used to love the cold until I hurt my spine. Now I'm here in Florida because I can't handle under 70 degrees.
Oh, so yeah. I mean, we have a lot of snow. I mean, I'm the kind of person that I'd rather be in the cold than in the heat.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the cold, you can just put on more clothes if you're cold. But if you're in the heat, then you can only strip down so much until you get arrested. So
I used to say that exact same thing.
yeah.
I miss those days because I can barely go home. I can't even go home in the wintertime, and I'll freeze to death.
Oh man, I'm sorry for you, man.
No, every curse is a blessing. Every blessing is a curse.
Yeah, it depends on what you do with them, right?
Exactly.
How you handle it.
You. All right. So I was curious, like, what did they feed you on set?
Oh, like lunchtime or in the scenes?
During lunch for craft.
Oh, we had caterers that made. I mean, I can say, for example, for breakfast, there was like scrambled eggs and sausages, bacon, fried mushrooms, some salads, some stuff like that. And we always had, for lunch or dinner, we always had like a couple of soups to choose from, couple of desserts, and maybe a fish dish, or poultry dish, or pork, or beef.
Good Lord. They fed you guys well.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you want people to do their best, waiting in mud in the cold for 14 to 16 hours. And I'm not talking about the actors now. I'm talking about the crew. the least thing you can do is to keep them happy food wise,
Yeah.
because those guys and girls, they work their ass off
Yeah.
for us to be on television.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the least you can do, is to feed them properly, because a good meal is underestimated. A good meal keeps your morals up, If you
Right.
can work hard in the cold, in the mud, or in the sun. I mean, if you know that in a couple of hours I'm going to sit down in a cool or warm tent, I can have a good meal and chat with my friends, talk about the day, and then go back out.
Right.
It keeps it boosts morale.
Mm-hmm. Now, did they give you your own trailer as well?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
we all had trailers. Yeah.
Okay. Now, did how long did you brought out your cuirass and whatnot, but how long did it take you altogether for hair and makeup?
About 90 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all. I mean, I had a conversation with Bjorn, who plays Siegfried,
Mm-hmm.
because he was there 3 hours
Wow.
every day. And we did the math. At the end of season 2, we did the math of how long he had spent, how much time he had spent in that chair, in the makeup chair. And it was 3 weeks.
Wow.
3 weeks in the chair across 6 or 7 months.
Jeez.
That's crazy, because he didn't have this. I mean, I used my own beard.
Right.
So I was blessed with a full beard, and I grew it like long so they can do whatever they want. And I had long hair, and if they wanted that. And so for me,
the
it was
whole time that was your real beard?
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But not all the guys are using their real beard, because not all the guys are getting this here.
Hey, tell me about it, man.
But yeah, so for me it was basically, it depended a bit on a season what they did with the hair. But my first season 2, I had like a wig on top with the dreads, and they put some dreads in here, but all the hair in front is mine. Of course, season 5 was the easiest, the hair wise, because they shaved my head.
But by the way, what was up with the dreads? Like, was that just sort of an artistic thing, or does that have any?
It was an artistic thing. I think it was more of a, how can I say this? Like a dirty look.
Right.
So
they didn't actually have dreads.
He didn't brush his hair much,
Right.
That's
so
what
they weren't going by any. They weren't going by any historical.
No. And I
right.
told them on several occasions, do you know actually that we were the cleanest people in the world at the time?
Yeah.
We bathed every 4th day, or at least every Saturday, because in Norwegian, this is a fun fact. In Norwegian, Saturday is called lørdag, which derives from laugardag, and dog means day. Okay. And lør is it comes from laugar, which is Old Norse for wash. So Saturday is washing day. So every Saturday, at least, people bathe, and you can't say that about Saxons.
Well, and your last name is Laursen, so does that have anything to do with washing or cleanliness?
No, I think that comes from son of Lauritz. But I'm not sure. To be honest, which is strange maybe, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that pissed me off, but didn't piss me off. But I said that on several occasions. Why are you making all all of us so dirty when we were the cleanliest people in the world at the time.
Yeah.
And of course, I understand it from a TV series point of view.
Yeah.
We were the bad guys, you know.
It's
Then
just funny.
we are dirty, we are unkempt, we are, you know,
right.
which is fine. I mean,
it's just funny the power though of media, because now that just seems to be like what people think, you know,
yeah,
that Vikings look like. And
yeah. But if they research it a little bit, they will know that the rest of the world smell like shit. But back in Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, we were clean mofos.
Oh, okay.
Ikke sant, Solo? And he's having a shower tomorrow too because it's Saturday. Yeah.
Every Saturday, huh?
No, not every Saturday. But the thing is that his fur is getting so long, and it's the snow outside is melting a lot now.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we go out, he'll get wet, you know, his chest and belly and
all right
and stuff. So I just want to clean him a little bit. And it's getting his hair cut in a couple of weeks as well. I'm shaving him in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you shave him yourself?
He's good people. Huh?
You shave him yourself?
No, I don't.
No.
I take him to a hairdresser or a dog stylist called Doggy Style.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it is. Now, how old is he?
He's 3.
Oh, okay.
He turned. He was born on what we call in Norway Little Christmas Eve, the 23rd of December. So.
Oh, Festivus.
Yeah. So I call him Dog Jesus because he's loved by everyone. We can meet like the grumpiest, old, angriest dogs that hate every other dog. But when they meet him, they just want to play and have fun. So he's a special boy. I've read somewhere that in packs of dogs and wolves and stuff, you have the alpha, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then you also have something like the diplomatic alpha, the alpha that is actually the alpha. So whenever there's a dispute, they go in and go, "Hey guys, relax. Chill." And he's a little diplomat. I mean, I've met a lot of dogs where the owners are, "Oh no, I can't let him. My dog is so afraid, and he's afraid of all the dogs." And I tell them, I mean, if that's the case, then I think Solo is the perfect dog to meet your dog. Are you sure? Absolutely. And I've had, on 2 occasions, I have had owners cry because they see how their dog is with Solo, because they have never seen it before.
Wow.
So he's a special dog.
You have him trained like to do anything like in particular? Or?
Well, I mean, I have taught him commands in Norwegian, of course, but also in English, because I wanted to be able to bring him to set like I did in Hungary for season 5. And I also taught him to sit and stay and lie down just with hand movements, so that I don't have to speak. And yeah, other than that, I'm not very, "Hey, we're gonna learn this trick now," because he's not a circus dog.
How did you learn to train dogs?
I watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and I read a lot of articles, and I just made my own little thing. I think I took the best from everyone and just applied it to him. And I didn't want to. I've trained him without treats, without using treats as a reward, because I didn't want him to think that every time. I wanted him to obey me because he wanted to obey me, and because I got happy from that. He would see that I was happy when he did what I told him to do.
Right.
Not that every time he does something, he opens his mouth and there's something, you know. Of course, sometimes train him with treats for some things, especially when it was a puppy. But other than that, I just praise him a lot, and and also, to be honest, this might be weird, but I also use some, especially when he was a puppy, I used a lot of dog body language, like dogs do.
Right.
I remember one time. This might be weird for some of you guys watching this, but it works, and for me it was the best way to do it, and he is now the best dog in the world, and we have the best relationship. But when he was naughty, for example, I would just go down on all four and I would stand over him and I would just look like dogs do. They would. I didn't look at him, but I would just take his place, So he knew that I'm the alpha. Don't mess with me. I never laid a hand on him. I never hit him, never threw him, never kicked him, never did anything to hurt him. But I also sometimes I barked. Because I saw this one little thing on YouTube, which just made me realize that maybe I should use actual dog language that they understand. And there was this little enclosure with like 7 or 8 puppies, and it was total chaos in there. They're all over the place, and lots of noise, and then the owner just opened the cage or the enclosure, and Mom came in, and she just went into the middle of the enclosure, and she just went, and everyone just, it was complete, from chaos to complete silence in just one snap of a finger. So I wanted to try that, and it worked. And we communicate a lot. I mean, he tells me when he needs to go, and he tells me what he wants to do, and I understand him, and he understands me, and it's fantastic. Best friend I ever.
Sounds a lot like the training that I learned from that Cesar Millan guy.
Yep. Yeah. I watched him a little bit as well, but mostly the thing that I found about him was that he worked with troubled dogs, and he was not troubled. So I tried to find stuff, because I went to puppy classes and stuff like that, but then the pandemic hit, so I went there like 2 times, and then it was over. So I had to do everything myself.
Right.
And it's worked out fine. And I don't even use a leash on him now.
Right. And is Norway pretty like dog friendly country, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to have a leash on them from April to September because of animals in the wild and stuff. But I don't. But I always have it with me. If somebody comes, you have to put him on a leash. Yes, of course, no problem.
Okay, cool.
And he won't hurt. I mean, his best friend is a cat. And he's super friends with a huge Maine Coon that lives in the house next door, and they come over and they play with together. And the cat is bigger than him, but they're. Do you remember Todd and Copper?
It's
no. A Disney thing. It's a Disney film. It's about a fox and a dog that becomes best friends. Saddest film in the world. But yeah, I'm almost a Disney princess.
Okay. Was there anything that you were thinking about talking about while we're here? You have anything?
I mean, I don't know. I've said a lot.
Yeah, and I have plenty more questions, but I don't want to wear you down. So,
Dude, that's okay. If you give me like 1 minute to go and get another beer, I'll be here, bro.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to do, so just give me a minute. Yes, I'm back. I'll just have to give Solo some food as well.
Hey, no problem. So, you don't have any kids or anything, by the way, do you, or a wife or?
No, I'm single at the moment, and I don't have any children, but I have Solo. He's my boy.
Sorry if some of these questions seem like they're so like filmy kind of related, but
But
I
that's
don't
why
know.
we're here, right? So
Yeah, I mean, just like basically like, well, whatever. So how many minutes or pages, and you might not know this, but how many minutes or pages would you normally shoot in a day from the script?
oh, that depends a lot if we were doing dialogue or just writing. Oh, very good. You enjoyed that, huh? That new chicken food, good. Yeah, that depends on if we're doing fighting or just transport, riding from here to there or dialogue. But I mean, uh, I'm not sure, to be honest.
I was
I
just
would
kind
say, I think you count about 1 or 60 to 90 seconds per page or something. Isn't that fairly common? And we did about maybe from we could do just one scene for the entire day, like a big scene,
of,
or we could do many short scenes. I would say between 5 and 10 minutes, maybe.
wow, every,
Maybe.
every day.
I might be very wrong here. I
Okay,
might be very wrong, but but yeah,
that'd be really impressive.
yeah, absolutely. But it was an impressive crew,
Yeah, yeah.
and we didn't have much restraints, because the set was built so you could film 360. You
Yeah.
can film anywhere at all times. You would never see lighting. You would never see. So it was very free.
So how did they do the lighting, by the way?
Oh, I mean, you could sometimes we would do you do this way and then we rig I mean, and we shoot the other way and stuff. But I mean, the gaffer was so good that and his crew was so good that I could sometimes I wondered that myself. Where are the actual lights
Right,
here?
right.
So yeah.
That's something. I'd really love to interview the crew as well, especially the gaffer.
Yeah,
That's just something that's fascinating to me, or maybe create a documentary about it or something.
yeah, it's super fascinating, and it's. I mean, a typical scene would go. We would meet up. We would go on set, and we would. The actors with the director would find out how we did the scene. Then we would bring everyone in, the gaffers, the sound, everyone in, and we just play the scene for them, and then they figured out where stuff was going.
Hmm.
So that was basically how we did it every scene.
So the gaffers didn't, and the DP, they didn't know the lighting setup beforehand. They just basically figured it out.
I mean, some directors had it all planned out like 100% before that rehearsal, before we came in. But other directors like to do it, another way, and figure it out on the spot. I mean, of course, they would have a general idea. Of course, they would,
Right.
but nothing maybe very specific. And they were very, they listened to our impulses a lot. If I was like, but can I go over here when he does that, or when he says that? Can I stay and can I sit on this? Can I go grab an apple? Can I, and we would figure it out. So yeah, it
So
was very free. I felt very free.
so the directors were pretty collaborative with the actors on things like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll say 90% of them were. Yeah.
Wow, and that's another thing that fascinates me is how a show like that can have just so many different directors, and yet you still don't lose the same feel, and everything. Do you know how many different directors there were? Or at least that you worked with?
I worked with, I think, about 8 different directors, 7 or 8.
Good Lord.
Because a lot of directors came back to do
Yeah.
more episodes. And 8, maybe 9, yeah.
Wow. And these are directors, I mean, not DPs, right? Or did the DPs also switch out quite a bit?
Yeah, they switched out as well. I mean, I think I worked with 3 or 4 DPs maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know why they switch out the directors like that so much?
No. Maybe to keep it fresh.
Or schedules or something?
Schedules to keep it fresh. I mean, a lot of directors came back. A lot of many directors did two episodes, and that was it. But also, a lot of directors came back for 2 more episodes, and maybe 2 more after that.
And it's sounding like
probably a schedule. I don't know, to be honest.
So it's sounding like basically an episode was taken about a month, right?
Yeah, about maybe 25 something like that, 25, 30 days.
Yeah.
Wow. But we would shoot 2 episodes back to back and intertwined.
How did you do that?
You could actually go from one day. Let's say we're doing episode something happened with your picture there.
Really?
Oh, there we go. It went out of focus.
Yeah, I think it's slow autofocus.
So we could go like on a Wednesday, do scenes from episode 3, and then on the next day we do some scenes for episode 4, and we go back to 3, and and maybe same day even from 2 different episodes, but always the same director.
So basically, they were being efficient with their setups, and they were like, "Okay, we have this setup in the next episode. Let's shoot that right now." Okay.
Yeah.
That's smart.
It is smart. It's time efficient, and it's also efficient. It's also smart in another way that it keeps us, the actors. We have to know the story, right? We have to know what we're doing, because you could one day film a scene that we haven't done the scene that leads up to that scene yet, but you have to know that scene from the script because you have to know what's. So yeah, it kept us on our toes.
Right. So did you know, like, how far in advance did you know when your character was gonna die?
I Didn't know until halfway through shooting season 5.
Okay.
But the thing is that because in that show, people were killed off left and right.
Right.
You know?
Which is what we love about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that I don't think they had planned for me to go all the way to season 5, to be honest. The producers and writers.
Mm-hmm.
But I created a motto for myself that I would just repeat to myself or focus on every day I went to work. And that was, today I will give them another reason not to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. I think, you know, I remember talking to one of the producers in season 3, on my first day of season 3. And I said to her, you have to tell me in advance if you're going to kill me. I don't want to just open a script and see that I die, because that would break my heart. So please tell me in advance if you're going to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And that same week or the week after, she came into the makeup truck and she said, we're not killing you this season. I just found out. But I think they meant for me to go a couple of times. But I was just too good.
You were.
No, I'm just kidding. But I was just, no, but I try to make every scene that I'm in interesting, you know? I try to, because even if I don't have any dialogue, if I'm just to stand there, I have to be alive and be interesting. I don't mean to steal the scene or anything from anyone, but you know, you have to stay alive and be an interesting character. And the more interesting of a character you are, then I think maybe the longer you'll last. I don't know. I think it was, at least in my case, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an advice I can give to actors, or young actors, or old actors, or whatever. Just keep it interesting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it interesting. Go in if you're in a show like that, every scene you're in, give them a reason not to kill you.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
It worked for me.
Yeah.
You know. I think.
Well, definitely. I mean, I imagine that being on that show has led to more opportunities for you too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was super appreciative of that. Absolutely.
So you got anything that you have done or that you can talk about, or
Oh yeah, I mean I like video games.
oh, you
I
like
play a lot of
acting
I
for the
play a
video
lot.
games? Yeah.
Yeah, I play a lot of video games on my free time because I just I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be in a huge franchise that I'd played all the previous installments, and that was Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to be in Assassin's Creed Valhalla
Right.
as a couple of characters, and that was great. And that would never have happened without The Last Kingdom. And there's a lot of us. I mean, Magnus Brun
Mm-hmm.
plays the protagonist. Harry McIntyre is in it. Bjorn Bengtsson is in it. Mark is in it. Mark Rowley. I might forget someone, but I know that Ubisoft and the writing team used The Last Kingdom as as a reference for a lot of the time, because it's might be one of the most, it's not completely historically accurate, as we've already talked about, but it's might be the most historically accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I would have never been in that game without the Last Kingdom. And yeah, meeting myself in that game was pretty awesome, because I played it. Of course I did.
Yeah, there's been a lot of chatter about that in the group, about
Yeah.
you and Magnus being in there and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it has been noticed big time.
Yeah. That was a great experience.
You know, I was surprised to learn just how many actors are doing the video games. Like I think Joseph Milson did also some video games or something.
Absolutely. And the artist has done video games, a lot of people. I mean, but the video game business is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there are, I mean, this might sound weird to some people, but some video games have great stories, And the biggest difference between a TV show or a movie and a video game is that you get to live the story yourself, You're a part of the story, which is very appealing to me. It's probably because I'm an actor as well. I love to be part of the story when I'm acting.
Right.
So I love to be a part of the story or stories when on my spare time as well,
Did you ever play like Medieval 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of games. I grew up when, video gaming was young, and, I experienced the first game, Pong,
Right.
I remember playing that. So it's different for kids growing up now, when the games are like they are now with VR and everything. But we grew up when, the birth of video gaming, and it just became a part of me,
Right. So let's see, what time is it over there now? It's
it's 9:15.
Okay. Are you a night owl or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Especially when I'm not working.
Yeah.
And I'm not working right now. I recently just got a role in a Norwegian television show.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be amazing, and I'm so looking forward to it. But we're not starting shooting until mid-April, so for now I'm just voicing a little bit of cartoons, dubbing into Norwegian, doing radio commercials and stuff like that.
Right.
Small gigs just to keep me going.
Right.
But I'm waiting to start this TV show, which is going to be amazing, I think.
Now, will it be on Netflix or?
It would be on something called Viaplay. It might be, I don't know. It might be a Scandinavian thing. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'll make sure to, because we're shooting from April to October.
Okay.
So it'll be out sometime next year.
Okay.
I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay.
So you can look out for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what was I going to ask you? I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Yeah, I know that happens to me all the time. What's wrong with you? Do you want to play now? Do you want your squid? He has a squid that he loves.
Oh, really?
You want the squid? Yeah, it's her hat. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to have to end this already personally, but I'm supposed to be interviewing Adrian Schiller.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah, in like 15 minutes.
Oh,
But
great. Tell Adrian I said hi and I love him.
oh yeah,
Adrian is a great guy.
yeah.
We
He
had
seems like,
some, and I was fortunate to have some good scenes with him in season 5.
right.
I remember we did when I'm in Bebenber and I'm sitting by the fire and he just walks up and he starts talking about my son, and I was like, well, I think I'll get the fuck out now. That was great. That was a good scene. We felt like two Sith lords, butting heads. We talked about it.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah, I've been trying to get with him as well for a while, and we were supposed to have done the interview like last Friday or Thursday, but then he got busy with something that he forgot about, and so we're going to be doing today. At least I hope so. I need to message him and see if he's still going to be able to.
I'm sure he will if he's not said anything else or told you otherwise. I mean, but yeah, I had a great time, man.
I know I don't want it to end, honestly, but I don't want to burn you down. And then I got this. I didn't think we would go this long because the last couple I did was only able to do for about an hour. But I guess maybe I'm learning now how to ask questions better or something.
I don't know. I mean, I had a great time. And you asked some interesting questions, and it's Friday night. I don't have anything else to do. I'm gonna go play some video games with a couple of buddies of mine now. That's what I'm gonna do. So,
okay.
But they can wait. They, they're not waiting for me. They're just yeah.
Well,
I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that you got a good interview as well, because we've been waiting long time for this. It's been a long time coming.
well, I just messaged Adrian. He hasn't said anything yet. But is there any chance? I still had some questions. Is there any chance maybe we could do it again sometime? Or
Yeah, man, absolutely.
okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
How about we do that? Because if he responds like I'm ready, all of a sudden I want to be ready for him. So
absolutely, I totally get you. Yeah, for sure.
Well, again, thanks so much. I mean, this was really great experience, and I'm looking forward to talking with you again, hopefully soon. And
yeah, man, likewise. I had a good time. I had a great time.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna go make some nachos and play some video games and drink some beer tonight.
Okay, well, again, have fun, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely, man.
Good night.
Say hi
man.
to Adrian for me.
Okay, I will do.
Okay, man. Talk to you later.
Bye.